All right, let's do it. Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, written by a fan. Interior Time Variance Authority Day. Chronomonitor number 616, wearing his numbered TVA jumpsuit, monitors his assigned timeline in one of hundreds of cubicles. He watches on an old monitor as the Fantastic Four leave the Baxter Building. Montage on screen, exterior Baxter Building 2027 day. Reed Richards and Susan Storm zip off in the Fantastic car towards space. Johnny Storm flames on and flies off towards a giant monster in the distance. Ben Grimm, a haze over his eyes, allows a stranger inside and leaves. In montage. Chronomonitor number 616 waits for a passing supervisor to move on, then sprints away from his cubicle. Title: Avengers, Kang Dynasty. Oh, do we? Oh, we're here. Yeah, we're good. Exterior Tomb of Agamotto, night. A full moon lights the ancient structure reclaimed by nature. Two figures repel inside through a makeshift opening. Interior Tomb of Agamotto, antechamber, night. No one has walked this labyrinth in a millennia. Wong, Sorcerer Supreme, enters through a sling ring portal. This is as far as my magic will take us into the Tomb of Agamotto. Shu Shang-Chi, master of Kung Fu and wielder of the Ten Rings, follows on watch for danger. Enter Shang-Chi.
It's a lot of
How is he?
magical protection to hide a grave.
Before this served as his final resting place, it was the sanctum of the first Sorcerer Supreme. There's no telling what dangerous secrets were buried with Agamotto. Katie Chin, fun-loving everywoman, emerges with a pack of magical artifacts, and she manages to close the portal on her third try.
Reunited and it feels so good. Selfie.
Katie takes a pic of her grinning face in the foreground, Shang-Chi flashing a peace sign behind her, and then there's Wong, unamused behind them. Apprentice Chen, a little less conversation, a
Conversation
little
and more action.
off his glare. Katie averts her gaze to the pic she just took. She spots a strange glint of moonlight in the picture's corner, but the actual space is empty. She shrugs.
Wong, I think you were right about this sorcerer's connection to my father's rings.
Shang-Chi examines the 10 iron hungar rings on his arms, magically glowing in the dark.
The deeper we dwell, the deeper we delve, the stronger I feel a pull.
Maybe your dad stole the 10 rings from Agamotto?
Very possible. Shu Wen Wu led a reign of terror for 1,000 years, and Katie and Wong pause, noting the sensitive subject for Shang-Chi, who's fallen back a step.
Guys, it's okay. My dad's been gone almost 3 years now. He did a lot of terrible things with the 10 rings, but after he left them to me, I'm just grateful to you both for helping me do some good.
Katie hugs her best friend tight.
Bro, therapy works. Way to open up about your feelings.
Katie stops dead in her tracks, her face pale as she points up ahead to a looming figure.
Mummy?
The other two follow her gaze and see a bandaged figure framed by a crescent moon cape fly down from his perch above. The Moon Knight, aka Mark Spector, is a frightening sight. Shang-Chi jumps in immediately to defend the others, launching his rings at Moon Knight. The cape wraps around Moon Knight tightly as he barrel rolls through the air, narrowly dodging the attack. The cape unfurls again in full crescent moon shape just as Moon Knight descends on Shang-Chi. The Kung Fu master easily rolls to safety and the two trade blows. Shang-Chi is faster and more skilled, capable of dodging and landing more strikes. Moon Knight's magical armor allows him to take more hits and do more damage.
Shang-Chi needs your help. I've got the flashlight.
Katie holds up a magic lantern to light the fight. Before Wong can jump in, another figure flies over and lands right in front of them. Blocking their view with an impressive wingspan is Layla Alfeoli, aka the Scarlet Scarab. She restricts Wong. Surrender, grave robbers, in the name of the Sorcerer Supreme. Shang-Chi summons the Ten Rings back to his arms, surprising and dealing heavy strikes to Moon Knight. Wong squares up with a spell, and Layla sheaths her bladed wings and puts up her hands.
We don't want to fight.
Tell him that.
Enraged, Moon Knight tries to pummel Shang-Chi, just barely blocking deadly strikes with his 10 rings. Layla launches across the chamber with her wings out, lands behind Moon Knight, putting a hand on his shoulder.
Stop.
He ignores her, then
Mark, please come back to me.
Moon Knight turns on her, eyes glowing with white-hot rage. Layla's face puts him at ease, and the mask pulls away to reveal Mark's relieved expression. He kisses his wife. Shang-Chi still has his hands raised in defense. Mark puts out a hand in friendship.
Oh. Let's start over. Mark is my wife, Layla.
Trusting, Shang-Chi takes Mark's hand. Interior inner sanctum later. Wong, Shang-Chi, Katie, Mark, and Layla all travel together.
So you two are an adventuring archaeologist superpower couple?
Basically sums it up, yeah.
So cool.
Tried giving it up for a while. Something keeps calling me back.
Mark sees a glimpse of Khonshu, god of the moon, his patron. What brought you to the tomb of Agamotto?
Our patrons warned us that someone dangerous would steal something from here.
Mark thinks aloud with a British accent, aka Stephen, Mark's other personality.
Oh, someone's stealing something dangerous.
Either way, dangerous. Glad we're here to help.
Mark shakes off intrusive thoughts as Layla takes his hand.
I'd much rather have you on my side in a fight. Sorry for jumping you before, by the way.
It's cool. Technically, I shot first.
Han Solo.
The five descend stairs into the burial site, washed in an ominous blue glow.
Your warnings didn't come with any descriptions of the someone or something, did they?
Layla shakes her head no as the source of the blue glow comes into view, standing over a busted open sarcophagus and holding a magical orb comprised of complex interlocking concentric rings is a man wearing a time variance authority jumpsuit and on the back chrono monitor number 616.
I'm guessing him and that.
Who are you?
Know me now, but I could have been once, and perhaps will be again.
The TVA grunt forces the glowing orb into a new position, frantically experimenting with the shape as the five cautiously approach. Could it be? The orb of Agamotto. Whoever you are, you cannot possibly comprehend the danger in your hands. The 10 rings glow brighter and pull Shang-Chi towards the orb. He resists with all his strength.
It was something dangerous.
The temporal energy overtakes 616, and it's clear from his now blue skin. This is a Kang variant. The orb grows unstable and explodes in magical temporal energy just as Moon Knight, Scarlet Scarab, and Shang-Chi fly toward 616. But the variant is gone and takes out major support beams with him. Immediately, the roof begins to cave in. Wong opens a portal. Quickly, everyone inside. Wong runs through, followed by Shang-Chi launching himself with the rings. Mark and Layla fly by and scoop up Katie before the room collapses around them. Interior, camouflage, night, continuous. Shang-Chi catches Katie as Mark and Layla fly by fast and quickly turn to face whatever might follow. Wong closes the portal as crumbling debris fills the tomb.
Who was that guy?
I believe he matches the description of a dangerous man who's tangled with the Pym family. Wong activates a high-tech console out of place in this mystic manner, and a hologram displays Janet Van Dyne.
What do you take?
Wong called it the Orb of Agamotto.
If that is indeed the relic he stole, then we will need all the help we can get. The holographic display cycles through several Avengers, landing on Nick Fury. Montage: a man of mystery, Fury, visits the Baxter Building, Sanctum Sanctorum, New Asgard Port, Wakandan Palace, Chicago streets. At the end of the montage, he enters interior, Riri's garage, night. Nick Fury, founder of the Avengers, snoops through the makeshift lab of a gearhead with her own Iron Man suit, the Iron Heart. The garage door opens behind him and in walks genius inventor Riri Williams. She activates her suit remotely.
Riri Williams, you've become part of a big universe. You just don't know it yet.
Who the hell are you?
Nick Fury. I'm here to talk to you about
Yeah, right.
The Ironheart suit narrowly zooms past Fury and scoops up Riri. She flies through the moonroof. Exterior Chicago sky, night continuous. Riri flies high above her home city.
Woo, nice try, but I know a cop when I see the Avengers.
She stops on a dime midair, stunned by the sight. An Avengers Quinjet hovers high above Riri's garage. Spider-Man, aka Peter Parker, sticks to the underside. Captain America, aka Sam Wilson, hovers parallel to Captain Marvel, aka Carol Danvers, flying next to Valkyrie, aka Brunhilde, casually lounging on the hull. They all stop mid-conversation to face Riri. Fury beams up to the Quinjet cockpit.
Hey, are you the new recruit?
Interior legalese bar night. On screen, a superhero dating app scrolls through pictures of She-Hulk and her alter ego, Jen Walters, attorney at law. The phone lowers to reveal Jen, dressed up for her date, looking concerned at her own phone on the table. On screen, scrolling hot pics of super hunk Chris Pratt on Jen's app. But in front of her is unfortunately Peter Quill, once known as the legendary Star-Lord, now a super has-been.
You look just like your pictures. Most of them. Did I mention I dated the green gal before?
More than once.
So you're Hulk's cousin.
And a superhero attorney.
As Quill brags about himself, Jen completes a puzzle on the table placemat.
Your cousin's team helped mine save the universe my third time, I think. That's when his buddy Thor switched to my Guardians.
So you're Thor's friend?
His captain, spaceship captain, as a former half god myself, he probably saw me as a role model.
Former half god.
It's true, I heroically sacrificed my celestial powers to defeat my evil space father and guard the whole galaxy.
Oh, well, thank you for your service. So now what?
Lately, just hanging out with my grandpa. He's from Missouri.
Jen's phone rings and she immediately answers the video call. On screen, Bruce Banner in his Smart Hulk form.
Probably an emergency. Oh, Bruce, did I forget about that family thing?
It's an Avengers thing. Suit up, Jen. It's time.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot. Wait, no, Bruce, I'm not an Avenger.
Is it the Hulk?
Today you are. All hands on deck.
Can I come too?
I don't know.
Please, Jen. I wouldn't ask it if it wasn't serious.
All right, I'll help however I can.
Great. See you in Nepal.
On screen, Banner shares coordinates to his location.
So, listen, Quill, this has been fun, but
I'll fly you there in my spaceship.
beats flying coach. Let's go.
Exterior, Los Angeles sky, night. Quill flies Jen in his new compact spacecraft, the Hoth.
Check out this awesome new band.
He blasts the best or worst of the 2010s. I don't know, something like Coldplay. Into whatever we can clear. Interior, Pem Lab, day. Ants of all sizes are hard at work. Holding up a big tube is an even bigger Bill Foster, once known as the giant hero Goliath. Banner logs off his video call.
I could use a Hulk hand over here, Dr. Banner.
Happy to help, Dr. Forrester.
That's Foster. With one hand
Foster.
each holding up the with one hand each holding up the heavy piece, Hulk and the towering Bill are each able to work tools with the free hand. Hank Pym, the original Ant-Man, directs the ants' work.
Careful, precious cargo.
Almost 5 decades working together, and you still haven't learned to trust Hank. We got twice the PhDs over here.
No need to worry, Dr. Pym. I've studied your designs extensively.
Inside the tube, 2 shrunken wasps make small repairs. Janet Van Dyne, original wasp and mother of Hope Van Dyne, continuing the family business. The two fly out, growing to Hank's size, and he embraces them.
This is all I worry about.
We're fine, Dad.
And just about done.
Hope spots across the room trying to arrange a perfect table Scott Lang. The new old Ant-Man seems nervous as Hope flies.
You do worry too much, Hank.
We just lost you for so long, Janet. I want as much time with you as I can get.
Hope grows to normal size in front of Scott as he's distracted for an accidental jump scare and mess. She helps him clean up.
Made snacks for everyone.
Tasty, but why so much?
Just want to feel useful. I'm pretty smart, but I'm not super smart.
Scott watches Banner, Bill, Hank, Janet doing super science.
Hey, this whole device was your idea. What'd you call it?
Hope fishes out a crude childish sketch of the Ant family's current project signed Scott L.
The time trap. Got the idea from Ghostbusters.
And who brought us all back with the time heist?
Tony Stark.
Steve Rogers?
Dr. Banner.
Natasha Romanoff.
Oh, Rocket Raccoon.
You, Scott. God, you prove again and again that you don't need the most strength or smarts to be a hero.
Good thing.
Hope shuts up her unhelpful dad with a look, and Hank returns to his work. Scott exits the lab and grows full size. Interior Kamartaj continuous. Scott emerges to find Katie assisting Wong with a protection spell around the shrunken Pym lab in his sorcerer's sanctum. How goes your progress, Mr. Lang?
We need paper towels.
Got you, fam.
Katie pulls from her magic bag a roll and tosses it to Scott. He catches it and shrinks back into the lab. The rest of our guests should be arriving soon. Exterior Kathmandu Day. Blocks away from Kamartaj, Spider-Man and Captain America race high above the streets.
Too slow, Star Spangled Man. Hey, I thought the other Captain America was the old guy.
Heads up, webhead.
Cap's shield cuts Spidey's web. Sam flies ahead and recovers the bouncing shield. Spidey sticks a web to the shield and gets carried off as Sam breaks the sound barrier.
Holy shit.
Exterior Kamartaj Day. Katie watches the race high above until surprised by the roar of a red 62 Corvette driven by Nick Fury.
Good morning, Katie. How's the magical world today?
Magic's good. Would you like me to park your car, Mr. Fury?
Thanks. Just don't push that big red button, okay?
No worries. Before working for Wong, I was the best valet driver in all San Fran.
As soon as Fury is inside, out of sight, Katie pushes the big red button and the Corvette flies off the ground. Interior Pym Lab Day. Wong and Bill marvel over a quantum tunnel pad merged with runic circles. Riri puts the finishing touches on her work.
The way you managed to make the Pym particles regenerate is like magic.
The runes appear to be for a containment spell, but where?
Magic, science, math, art, it's kind of all the same, right?
The beautiful device breaks with sparks, but Riri quickly works to fix it.
Trial and error until you get it right.
Exterior Kamartaj Day. Katie returns, stopped by a massive shadow. Quill's ship hovers above, with he and Jen looking out a viewport.
Hey, Katie!
Jen, sweet ride. Where should I park?
Carol flies up and hoists the ship on her back.
What's up, Star Lad? I didn't know you'd be here. I'll stick you next to me.
Carol glides Quill's smaller ship next to her larger one, further up the mountain.
Whoa, careful.
Incredible.
Interior Kamartaj Study Day. Shang-Chi and Quill talk in a corner, Fury and She-Hulk in the other. Layla and Mark enter as Scott passes out snacks.
Sure, he used to be a conquering warlord, but in the end, my dad sacrificed himself to give me the 10 rings and save the world.
That's beautiful, man. When I fought my father, and this
The
was-
evil planet.
Right, I had to give all the superpowers he gave me to save the galaxy, but that's what heroes do.
That's awesome, dude.
Shang-Chi high fives Quill. who hides how much it stings. Carol and Hope walk by the room mid-conversation.
I can't believe you flew with Dr. Wendy Lawson. I did my thesis on her quantum theories.
She was my hero. She actually inspired the name Captain Marvel.
Mark is a wallflower. Layla guides him towards the others.
Go on, try making friends.
Fury and Jen, She-Hulk, shake hands and part.
Glad to have you on board.
I'll do my best.
Layla walks off with Jen as Mark approaches Fury.
Mind if I ask you some legal questions?
Mr. Spectre, our charges on you is murky to say the least.
Wong says you lost your eye to a pussycat then?
We both have our secrets.
Interior, Pim Lab, Day. Banner, Carol, Wong crowd around the monitor. Tiny Scott stands on the keyboard. On screen, Cassie, Kamala, America, Scar. They're kids and proteges, the young Avengers.
You get the snacks I sent over, Peanut?
Dad, my code name is Stature. I wish you guys would let us help.
Sorry, kids, but you're not tall enough for this ride.
Ugh, did you call him Spider-Man? Because nobody even knows who that short king really is.
Interior, Kamartaj Hall, Day. Jin chats quietly with Layla, reviewing her legal documents.
Thanks for your help. Getting remarried is so complicated.
Layla packs up her stuff.
Yes. Why'd you and Mark split up in the first place?
Mark has other sides to him, literally. And it wasn't until he shared all those sides with me that we could really be partners.
So folks know something about wrestling with our dark side. For Bruce, it started way before the powers. Back when we were kids, he had it really rough at home.
Mark, too. How's he cope now?
Mark, the Avengers.
That feels more like a family. And he's got actual family in you.
Mark has you.
Layla and Jin share a nice beat before
We failed the Bechtel's test so hard.
exterior Kamartaj Day. Katie returns, stunned by the sight of Valkyrie landing with her Pegasus war song.
Your Majesty, King Runheil.
Katie, I told you my friends call me Val.
Do your friends get to ride the Pegasus?
Smash cut, Katie soaring through the clouds on the Pegasus. Exterior, Kamartaj Stables Day. Katie leads Warsong to water, where the Pegasus joins Jangs, Flurkins, and giant ants.
Goose Morris, meet Warsong.
Interior, Kamartaj Hall Day. Val leads Carol by the hand to explore another room. Val stifles a giggle at getting alone time. Carol shushes her. Interior, Kamartaj Study Day. Jen and Shang-Chi are both drawn towards the same spherical sculpture. In a classic meet-cute moment, their hands touch.
Oh, sorry.
Thanks. Welcome.
What?
What?
I'm Shang-Chi.
Jennifer Walters. Jen.
They each take turns making moves on the sculpture puzzle.
My first Avengers team up.
Mine too. Honestly, I'm pretty starstruck, but you must be used to the super celebrities.
Because my cousin's the Hulk.
No way! That's rad!
You didn't know that?
Nope. Wong told me you were like a big time superhero lawyer in LA.
I don't know about big time.
The puzzle clicks into place. Captain America and Spider-Man walk by the door.
Hey team, the Ant Fam is just about ready for everyone.
Jen and Shang-Chi share a look, both mind blown.
We're both in the big time now.
Interior, Kamartaj, Day. Fury and Banner look at images of the original team: Steve Rogers, Tony Stark, Thor, Black Widow, Hawkeye with Hulk.
Nat, Tony, Vision, Wanda, Pietro, T'Challa, Steve.
Coulson, Hill. You lost a lot of friends. Moore moved on with Bond and Fisher retired and Thor off world.
We're all that's left, Fury.
They activate the PIM lab, which shrinks them inside with the new recruits get ready.
I don't know about that.
Interior PIM lab day. High above on a light fixture, shrunken Hope and Hank find Janet sitting alone, watching the others mill in below.
There you are, Mom.
Honey, what's wrong?
I've missed so much time.
They embrace her. Flashback. Young Janet shrinks inside of a missile to stop it. Young Hank is too slow to stop her.
Janet, you saved me. You saved so many lives that day.
You inspired me to be a hero just like you and Dad, and showed us how to save you too.
Flashback. Young Janet hugs her child goodbye the last time. Janet hugs her adult daughter for the first time outside a crashed quantum pod. Janet destroys Kang's multiversal engine core.
I gave up my way home to stop a madman from escaping the quantum realm. Then he nearly killed my family to get out.
The Ant Fam were pulled into the quantum realm. Kang attacks the Ant Fam.
But he didn't. We survived. You survived. And Kang,
Janet jumps at the name.
he's gone.
And if he's back somehow, then we'll take care of it as a family.
And this time we've got help.
Below, the Avengers meet and greet and take their seats. Nick Fury, Hulk, Wong, Captain America, Ant-Man, Wasp, Captain Marvel, Star-Lord, Spider-Man, Valkyrie, Shang-Chi, Moon Knight, Scarlet Scarab, She-Hulk, Ironheart. Later in a montage, Janet Van Dyne, flanked by Hank Pym and Bill Foster, addresses the Avengers with a holographic presentation. After her, Wong, Banner, and Fury each address the group. On screen, Kang the Conqueror, then Chronomonitor number 616.
I spent nearly 30 years fighting the Conqueror in the quantum realm. A council of his variants from across the multiverse imprisoned him there. Hope and Scott thought they saw his demise, but I believe this mystery attacker to be Kang or one of his variants.
On screen, Art of Agamotto with his orb, of Agamotto and amulet. Images of the Ancient One and Wong with the amulet. Chronomonitor 616 with the orb. Stealing the orb makes sense of a multiversal conqueror. My predecessor, the Ancient One, taught me how Agamotto, the first Sorcerer Supreme, studied the Time Stone to create artifacts with the power over time, like this orb.
With the combined scientific effort of my fellow doctors Van Dyne, Pym, Foster, magical know-how from Wong, the Sorcerer Supreme, and a bit of both from engineering wonderkind Rory Williams, we've managed to build this quantum time trap. It should be able to track the mystery attacker's temporal signature through the quantum realm and pull him here to us. What happens next?
On screen, an animated depiction of a figure pulled through time into the trap. Then the original Avengers. Then the Young Avengers.
There came a day unlike any other, when Earth's mightiest heroes found themselves united against a common threat. On that day, the Avengers assembled to fight the foes no single superhero could withstand. Minus a backup contingent of young Avengers in training, today's assembly represents Earth's mightiest heroes. Whatever happens, we'll be ready.
The Avengers circle around the machine in battle-ready formation as the scientists fire it up. The trap fills with temporal energy. A silhouette can be seen through the energy within the trap. The energy is too much and spills out, filling the lab and consuming the Avengers. The trap is empty.
Bruce, what's happening?
Something's wrong.
The temporal energy is sucked back into the trap and brings the Avengers right along with it. Exterior citadel at the end of time, night. Sitting on a throne in the ruins is Chronomonitor 616, or Immortus in his final form, wielding the orb of Agamotto. At his feet lie the remains of He Who Remains, Around the citadel circles the sacred timeline, and out of it emerges the Avengers, suspended in space by Immortus's power.
Avengers, when will you accept that I win? For all time, always. I am forever. I am Immortus.
Unable to move or react, the Avengers are thrown back into the various points of the sacred timeline. Exterior, Nueva York, 2099, night. The dark neon future city stretches out to all horizons. Flying cars create chaotic air traffic. Spider-Man wakes up, free falling high above the city. Nearby, he spots an unconscious Bruce Banner and Jen Walters falling.
Where am I? Dr. Banner, Miss Walters?
Doing whatever a spider can, Peter dodges and weaves between flying cars to web up Banner and Jen and safely land the three on the ground. Down on the street, continuous Spidey wipes out to keep Banner and Jen from going splat. The damage immediately attracts dozens of future cops, the public eye. They nab the still out cold Banner and Jen.
You're going to make my friends angry. You won't like them.
Spidey's knocked out with several electric batons. Exterior, Russian Field, 1987 night. Captain Marvel ignores machine gun fire from two Soviet helicopters pursuing her through the snow. Exterior, Scandinavian shore, 1944 day. Captain America, Sam, is pulled out of the muck with the help of James Howlett, a squat, hairy, gruff Canadian, one of hundreds of Allied soldiers storming the beach. Exterior, Scandia Castle, 542, night. Medieval samurai and knights clash outside a European castle. Back to back, Shang-Chi and Ironheart fight off aggressors from both armies. Exterior, Corral, Peru, 2500 BCE, day. From a peak in the Andes Mountains, Wong, Valkyrie, and Mark look down on one of Earth's first civilizations and up at a kaiju deviant lumbering over the mountains towards it. Back in 2099, interior, Maestro's Coliseum, night. The crowd cheers from their seats and surrounding streaming screens, announcing from an elevated box the Collector, Grandmaster, and Evolutionary. And behind them, two obscured figures, blue and green, and Voyager, a blue-skinned Ravonna variant.
A rousing contest of champions. Care for another wager, brothers?
My experiment remains undefeated.
Bring in the catch of the day.
On the field, a feral Venom 2099 devours its latest victim. Spider-Man is dumped out into the field from a sealed cage, and the Spider-Punk-looking Venom pursues, nearly fast enough to nab Spidey.
Whoa, down, boy.
Spidey webs another cage door and pulls it open.
I need some Hulks.
Banner and Jen slide out the container and Hulk out, dropping with Hulk-sized superhero landings. Venom keeps the three on their toes until a Hulk clap damages the symbiote with sound waves, revealing the possessed Miguel O'Hara, an unwilling host.
She-Hulk, He-Hulk. Give him a round of applause.
With two Hulks causing shockwaves, Spidey's able to pull Miguel free of the symbiote. A hush falls over the crowd. The obscured blue and green figures address each other. Kang, the Conglomerator, his 2099 corporate king variant.
Have your fun, Maestro.
Maestro leaps from the box down to the field below. He's an older, stronger, bearded Hulk.
Avengers, welcome to the future.
Bruce, I'm seeing double.
This can't be real.
With surprise, skill, and speed, Maestro knocks out his younger self, Jen and Spidey, mirroring how Thanos once took him out. Exterior, Andes Mountains, 2500 BCE, day. Valkyrie draws her sword, ready to take on the mountain-sized deviant lumbering toward the civilization below. Wong holds her back as Mark gets his bearings.
Please wait. We don't even know where we are.
I know these people need help.
I think these people are Corral Supe, one of humanity's first cities, but these are only ruins.
In the 21st century.
So we've been sent back through time. How far back?
It will take 4,500 years.
Wow, okay, one problem at a time. First we stop at the stop that monster.
We're not supposed to be in this time. What if we change history?
That's not how it works. When the Avengers time travel to reverse the blip, they learn changing past events creates branches in the timeline, parallel universes.
True, but the Avengers navigated time using quantum science. We've been transported by the magic of the Orb of Agamotto.
We should focus on finding the rest of our team. Need all the help we can get.
Val draws runic circles in the ground with her sword.
Great idea. We went back over 4,000 years. That means somewhere in the 9 realms, my sisters, the Valkyrie, are still alive. And the Valkyrie always heed a sister's call for help.
Val takes a knee and the symbol glows as she silently prays. After several beats of silence, she looks solemn.
No answer. I don't understand.
It's not our only problem. My powers, my suit, it's not working.
A sonic boom precedes the arrival of the Domo, a large pyramid-shaped spaceship above the city.
Is this the Valkyrie?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Me either, but there's something coming out.
From the Domo emerges the Eternals, Ajax, Icarus, Circe, Kingo, Phastos, Druig, Makari, Sprite, Gilgamesh, Thena.
What is this then? Ancient aliens?
The Eternals spring into action against the Deviant before it reaches the city.
Let's find out.
Val leaps off the mountain, bounding towards the battle. Wong opens a portal to follow. Exterior, Scandia Castle, 542 night. Against the castle wall, Shang-Chi and Ironheart fight back warriors and mystics from the east and west, overwhelmed.
Riri, can you fly us out of here?
Holding hands, Riri flies above the battle. From the high vantage point, they spot on the castle parapet Percival, the Black Knight, wielding the ebony blade, fighting Shu Wen-Wu before the Ten Rings, wielding a katana. Neither combatant notices the flying heroes.
Dad?
Dad, your old man's real old.
Volleys of arrows and spears launch at the flying duo. Riri loses her grip and Shang-Chi disappears in the chaos below.
Shang-Chi!
Riri dives after him, but a magical blast damages Ironheart and grounds her, crashing at the feet of a powerful witch, corrupted by a floating evil spellbook, the Darkhold. Morgan Le Fay, the ancient one, but young, red hair flowing. Percival slices through Wenwu's katana with the ebony blade.
Nothing can defend against my enchanted ebony blade.
Unarmed, Wenwu blocks strikes using close combat.
Power you are unworthy to wield.
Wenwu and Percival hold each other at bay. A portal opens behind Percival. Morgan emerges, stabbing him in the back.
Morgan Le Fay, traitorous witch!
Your king is dead by his son's hand. Camelot is fallen. And now to the Black Knight of Scandia.
As Percival drops to his knees, Wenwu pries the ebony blade from the knight's grip and stabs him with his own sword.
The curse is yours now.
Wenwu draws the sword as Percival dies, and the ebony blade absorbs the blood left on it.
What did he mean by a curse?
Desperate lies of a dying man. Let us depart, my lord. We have what we came for. And there are more kingdoms for you to conquer. Yeah.
Morgan opens a portal to a lush African jungle.
Fine. You guided me this far.
But until you see what new power I have found for you this time.
Trapped in her busted armor, Riri's placed in an Iron Maiden on a cart by Wenwu's soldiers. Her voice becomes muffled as they close her inside. Exterior, Scandinavian, shore, 1944, day. Hydra POWs are rounded up by the Allied Howling Commandos, including James Howlett, Dum Dum Dugan, Jones, Marita, Fallsworth, and so on. Sam cleans off his mud-stained Captain America uniform, surprising his new compatriots.
Who are you, Captain Liberia?
Y'all wouldn't believe me.
You wouldn't believe what we can believe, bub.
One Hydra POW breaks free, snatches a grenade, and tosses it in the middle of the group before getting restrained. Hail Hydra!
Grenade! Everybody down!
Sam reaches for a shield, but it's buried in the sand out of reach. His gauntlet calls the shield back like a magnet, but James Howlett dives over the grenade just as it explodes. Dum Dum Dugan holds back Sam from diving a moment later.
No!
Hold, soldier. We don't call him Lucky Jim for nothing.
Sam's shocked as Howlett's deadly wounds rapidly heal, and the mutant stands up. Howlett strolls over to the Hydra POWs, shaking in their boots. You Nazis took your best shot. My turn. Interior Time Variance Authority, day. Chronomonitor 616 overlooks the squad of fascistic Minutemen from his supervisor's perch next to Ravona Renslayer, the intimidating TVA commanding officer.
So it's almost ready.
The Avengers' destruction of the sacred timeline.
Of us. For all time.
Always.
Ravona Renslayer, you're quite a marvel. I'm proud to lead with you. You'll make a difference in this war. Thank you for being on my team.
The TVA awaits our commands. Shall we go?
I'll catch up.
Ravona leads the Minutemen through a time door.
It's been a long road. See you soon. Always.
Interior Pen Lab 2027 day. Katie enters with paper towels. The lab is expanded to full size, damaged and merged with a section of Camartage containing it. Rattled, Hank, Janet, and Bill pull themselves together.
Hope? Where's Hope?
Oh my God, what happened?
Trap was a trap. For us.
A time door opens and armed TVA Minutemen storm out. Ravona Renslayer marches in after her soldiers.
Avengers, you have been found guilty of crimes against the sacred timeline. Surrender now.
You took our family. Avengers, time to earn the name.
Katie, Hank, and Bill squat up around Janet. Decked out in new TVA armor, Chronometer 616 emerges from the time door with the Orb of Agamotto.
You should have seen this coming, Janet. You and I have been on this path since you rescued me in the quantum realm.
You're not him. You're not Kang.
Maybe not your Kang, but a new and an improved Kang.
A variant from another time.
Soon, I shall be the one for all time. Always. Whoever you were, are, or will be, time to bring our people home now. Your team is lost in time, and you're not the heroes you once were.
Bill grows as Hank and Janet shrink for battle. Interior Pem House, 1987 night. 40 years younger, Hank and Janet, bags in hand, hug their daughter, young Hope, just a child.
Jelly Bean, Daddy and I have a last-minute business trip. Hopefully it's not too long.
Goodbye, sweetheart. We'll see you soon. Okay, Janet, we gotta go.
Exterior Soviet base, 1987 day. A dozen Soviet soldiers lay unconscious in the snow, surrounded by concrete structures. Young Bill grows 20 feet, dwarfed only by cooling towers. Young Hank and Janet leave Bill fighting two super soldiers, Winter Soldier and Red Guardian.
Ant-Man, Wasp, neutralize the missile. I got these Ruskies.
You got us, Black Goliath. Then who's got you, huh?
Just Goliath, Captain Kami.
Bill stomps Red Guardian, only to have his giant foot lifted. Shrunken, Hank and Janet fly to the edge of a silo just as the nuclear missile blasts off.
Oh my God, they already launched.
We have to stop it. Come on.
Hank and Janet tether themselves to the rocketing missile. Giant Bill's too slow for the super soldiers, targeting his knees with Red Guardian's shield.
Fee, fly, flow, fall.
Momentarily distracted by the missile, a shield strike to his forehead topples Bill like a felled tree. Pacific Ocean continuous. Tiny Hank and Janet try cutting the missile's titanium hull with microlasers.
I can't get through. Hank!
They see the American shore approaching in the distance. Hank tries to turn off his regulator, but it sparks, damaged. Janet deploys her wings and her own regulator.
Tell Hope I love her.
Janet, no!
The missile turns upwards. Underneath, Carol carries it towards space, helmet on.
Here's your stop. Leave the heavy lifting to me. Who are you?
No dime.
Carol guides the missile towards the stars. Hank takes Janet's hand and jumps in the ocean for a tiny splash. Back at the Soviet base, Winter Soldier produces a machete and menacingly approaches the blacking out, still giant Bill. Cut him down to size. The machete flies out of Winter Soldier's hand into Red Guardian's right shoulder. Quill soars with a rocket boot kick to Red Guardian's face. Scott grows from the sword's hilt and swipes for the ankles, only to have it smashed by Red Guardian's shield.
Now that's a red
That's a
scar. I
cold
thought
door.
I'd do the.
I'm
No,
sorry.
no,
Did you
no.
want to go?
No, you go. No, you go ahead. Okay.
Price.
Hope calls their attention to her struggle with the Winter Soldier, who has her in a headlock.
Go, I've got Boris.
Scott shrinks and flies to Hope's aid. Quill fires his blasters at Red Guardian, who blocks shots with his shield as he charges. I am the Red Guardian!
And I am Star. Whoa.
Quill rockets up to avoid the charging Russian. Hope shrinks to escape Winter Soldier and flip him. He quickly recovers.
Bucky Barnes, remember who you are.
Winter Soldier blocks her stinger shots with his metal arm, unfazed. Scott grows giant and holds him down.
Oh, Steve Rogers would be so disappointed in you.
Winter Soldier maniacally fights Giant Scott, shrinking him like Mario taking damage.
Steve Rogers, why did you say that name? Why did you say that name?
Hope takes her chance to tase Winter Soldier with a charged stinger shot to his neck.
Mr. and Mrs. Bug, please help.
Quill is caught by a super jump from Red Guardian, pulling Quill down and smashing his rocket boots. Scott and Hope knock out Red Guardian with a combo finisher.
That's it, man.
And the Wasp.
Boom! Hope, Scott, and Quill react as the nuclear warhead explodes far away and high up in the atmosphere. Continuous on the edge of space, Carol looks sick, absorbing the nuclear explosion. The force sends her plummeting towards Earth.
Carol Danvers, prodigal child of the Milky Way. We can't do this alone. We need you, Captain Marvel.
Flashback. Carol crashes an experimental jet with Lawson. Exterior Soviet base, day later. A large makeshift shield command center sets up on site. Carol wakes from her crash flashback dream to the real live young Nick Fury, both eyes intact, watching over Captain Marvel.
Welcome back, Miss.
Marvel? Fury?
Helmets on, Quill with Tiny Scott and Hope on his shoulders stand opposite Fury, overlooking Carol, also helmeted up. In the background, a medical shield team carry away young Bill on a giant stretcher. Collared and cuffed, Red Guardian and Winter Soldier are loaded into a shield prisoner van.
I'm Fury. And you are?
She's classified. Both classified.
Fine. She will get busy debriefing those Red Room super soldiers.
Fury leaves the forest, slipping a spy bug under Carol's cot.
Janet, Hank, catch up with you and your new super friends at HQ. And thanks to all of you. The world always needs more heroes.
Quill and Scott instinctively salute as Fury leaves. Hope shrinks further and shoots down Fury's bug.
Wow, that guy's twice as intimidating with two eyes.
Oh yeah, he totally saw right through me.
Hope tosses the bug to Scott as they grow. She helps Carol sit up and remove her IVs.
We should fly before Fury realizes I squished his bug. Hey, Carol, are you okay? What happened out there?
I think I saved your parents.
Oh no. I was worried about this.
You're welcome.
My mom went subatomic to stop that nuke, but then she couldn't come home for 30 years.
Oh, Hope, I'm sorry. Did I change the future?
Hope brainstorms with Scott and Carol while Quill talks to himself in the background.
Well, Dr. Hulk told me that the Back to the Future was a bunch of bullshit, so we should be good.
How did that jerk with the orb send us back to what year is it?
1987. Changes to the timeline create branching universes. If our universe branches off too far,
We're in 1987?
We won't be able to find our way back home. But how do we travel back at all?
1987, that means my mom's still alive.
to get back and find the other Avengers lost in time, I'll need to recreate Stark's chronological GPS with outdated tech.
At least another year.
Plus the modern quantum tech in our suits.
My father's still alive, too.
Duh, our suits! Oh, thanks, honey.
I wonder, does that mean...
Hope kisses Scott, he swoons. In the background, Quill slowly charges up his celestial powers like an anime hero.
We'll just have to find something that generates a ton of power.
It won't draw curious eyes.
Or create timeline branches.
Carol, Hope, and Scott think. Quill lights up like a bulb.
How about an infinity stone hidden in an empty alien satellite?
This is going to work.
Quill charges up into the ultimate Star-Lord.
Well, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go see my mom.
Did you not hear anything they just said? I mean, some of it was pretty confusing, but we shouldn't...
Quill blasts off like a missile as Scott approaches him. Hope quickly shrinks down and hitches a ride on Quill flying out. Scott shrinks down on Carol's shoulder.
Fly, Captain Marvel! Yeah! Shazam!
Not one of your little drone ants, Lang.
Yes, sorry, I got carried away. Yeah.
I'll carry you away. Hold on tight.
Carol soars after Quill with tiny Scott holding on for dear life. Fury runs after the flyers just to get blown back. Over the Pacific Ocean, Carol tries to follow with Scott. Quill flies faster and further away in the distance.
Either he's shrinking or we're falling really far behind.
Something's wrong with me.
Carol tries to catch up, but a brief boost causes her to lose speed and altitude. Exterior prison 2099 night. Spider-Man Peter Parker wakes in a laser containment cell hanging high above a lake of acid. He crawls around looking for an escape. Bruce Banner and Miguel O'Hara sit in their own adjacent cells.
Mark?
Name's Miguel O'Hara.
Spider-Man. Screw it, no use in a secret identity in the post-apocalyptic future, I guess. I'm Peter Parker.
Peter, he took Jen, that ugly green savage.
The Maestro. Did he say future?
This Maestro is like future Hulk. Guess you're not used to being on the receiving end of a Hulk smash.
Again, what year are you from?
What year are you from?
This year, 2099.
2099. Holy sh! Yeah, us too.
Whatever. You can explain after we get out of here.
Miguel pries open a panel in his cell with super strength and retractable spiked talons from his fingertips. He hacks into the cell controls. Peter follows his lead and plugs his own suit in to display a map of the complex.
Dr. Banner, I think I can trace your cousin through her gamma signature. I see. Here you are, and there's Miss Walters.
Peter's tracer displays Banner in this location, and then far in the facility, a second marker for Jen next to a third.
With a monster.
Interior trophy room, 2099 night. Maestro leads Jen through his lair decorated with Captain America's shield, Thor's Stormbreaker, Iron Man's armors, and so many more mementos from other past heroes. Jen hulks out, but Maestro catches her fist.
Who are you? Where's Bruce Banner?
I am Bruce, or who he will be.
Jen breaks away and hides as her human self, looking over his trophies in horror.
What happened to you? What did you do to the world?
You think I did this? Ordinary people destroyed the world, Jen. Not Loki, not Ultron. None of the despots my friends fought and died against. Ordinary damn people burned it all down.
Jin recognizes the orb of Agamotto on display and finds she can move it like the Kamartaj puzzle sculpture.
Bruce, you're scaring me. This doesn't sound like you.
It's a scary world where I evolved to survive and to lead.
You're doing a great job so far. Working with Kang?
Someone had to step up and shepherd the sheep.
You know who you sound like?
I'm nothing like it. You're the only real family I ever had, Jin. I wanted to speak with you first because I thought you would understand.
That's the thing, Maestro. I really do understand. I'm so disappointed with you.
The puzzle clicks in place as Maestro takes his angry swing. She-Hulk disappears with the orb and his bones crack on impact with Captain America's shield on the wall. Exterior prison 2099 night. She-Hulk disappears from Peter's tracer, surprising Banner.
Where'd she go?
She was right there.
Miguel hangs upside down in his cell, surrounded by a web of wires from his hacking and slicing. He opens their cells.
Hopefully she found a way out. Our ride's here too.
In the acid lake below, a hovercraft glides in with 2099 heroes, Paul Philip Ravage, Lucas Bishop, a Robocop-esque Punisher, blasting the AI security. And their leader is Old Man Logan, emerging from the hovercraft, weathered by the 155 years since his days in World War II as James Lucky Jim Howlett.
Forgot your pajamas, wall crawler? Who are your new friends?
Logan tosses Miguel a cube that expands with nanotech into a Spider-Man 2099 black and red suit. Miguel and Peter sling their particular forms of webs from their cells to the hovercraft below.
Thanks, Logan. These two shockers are totally not time traveling from the past.
Any chance they can go back and fix all this?
That's not how time travel works.
Besides, we can't go back to the past without Jen.
And you give me grief for spoilers. Dr. Banner looks like She-Hulk's gone already.
Peter's tracer shows Maestro zeroing in on Banner. Peter swings with Banner to the hovercraft as it takes off.
Maestro's coming this way.
Moving out, team. Jennifer, where are you?
Let's pause there. Interior Domo 2500 BCE day. She-Hulk shunts back through time to her friends Wong, Valkyrie, and Mark in alien restraints. She breaks each of them free.
Hey, gang. Jen, where'd you come from? No, far-flung future. When are we now?
Ancient past.
Right on.
You found the orb of Agamotto.
I think so. I mean, it must be what brought me to you.
Eternal, Circe, Phastos, Gilgamesh, and Athena discover the three Avengers freed by She-Hulk.
Stop. You must wait for Ajax.
And Icarus.
Phastos clashes with Wong, science versus magic. Gilgamesh with She-Hulk, matching brute strength. Athena with Valkyrie, two skilled swordsmasters.
We want no fight with your people.
My people are Eternals, and your people are unknown quantities that should not be in this time.
Eternals, and you're calling us unknown? TBH just got here.
All leaders are convening with Arisham the judge. He'll know what to do with you.
I'm an attorney. Maybe I should speak with this judge. You mortals could not handle a celestial's might. You cannot even handle the might of Thena. I'm Valkyrie, the warrior of Asgard, and I can handle anyone, especially you wannabe gods.
Mark/Stephen runs into Cersei as he fails to slip out.
Please, we really do want to help.
Let's return to our own time.
I tried designing a device exactly for that purpose, but Earth's primitive cultures haven't yet developed the necessary technology.
Perhaps if I assist your scientific efforts through my magical means.
We've already exceeded our mandate to simply protect humanity from the deviants. But we wanted to try.
Deviants, like that giant creature?
Flashback. Val and Wong assist the Eternals in defeating the Kaiju deviant in the Andes Mountains.
Why can't you Eternals tell a story in chronological order? We did not require your aid, but since you offered it, our leaders are advocating for a peaceful path. And if your leaders can't convince this judge?
To protect the timeline, to protect the Earth, we will do whatever Arishem commands.
Even if you must sacrifice each of us to do it.
My clients reject your terms.
The Avengers defeat the Eternals and restrain them in kind. Val takes control of the Domo. Wong examines the orb of Agamotto with Jin.
It's not working like earlier in the future. This is already confusing.
We'll solve it together.
In the meantime, we shouldn't wait around for the other Eternals.
You drop them off outside of their pet for their pals to find. I have an idea where to go to get my powers back. Maybe Layla and the rest will be there too.
Exterior Domo, 2500 BCE day. The ship shakily flies high above the confused ancient civilization far below, temporarily creating an eclipse. Exterior African jungle, 542 day. Wenwu's soldiers, conscripted from across the world, march magically enhanced vehicles of war through the brush. Interior prison cart, 542 day. Ironheart armor heavily damaged. Riri's wheeled into a moving medieval workshop, larger inside than outside. The ebony blade on his hip, Wenwu examines his regular suit of armor on display. The Darkhold floats by Morgan Le Fay. Victor, their prisoner hiding facial scars with a green cloak hood, is pulled out of the shadows by astral chains.
Oh, my pet. Meet your new cellmate. I said meet your new cellmate.
Morgan tells me your armor can fly.
Among other things.
It's damaged.
You will build flying armor for me.
Not so easy.
This wizard's workshop should contain everything you need.
Riri slides off her Ironheart arm and side panel, revealing a large piece of shrapnel painfully piercing her side.
I need a doctor.
I am a doctor. Victor, kept from approaching by Morgan's magical chains.
You are a thief, and lucky to still be alive after your trickery.
Choking, he speaks to Wenwu.
Neither of us will be of use to you if we are dead.
Very well. Heal her, build my arm, and you both may walk free.
Wenwu signals to release Victor's chains. Morgan holds an extra beat, enjoying herself. She psychically slides over cabinets with medical supplies, armor pieces, and magical components. Wenwu and Morgan exit through a mirror portal that solidifies closed behind them. Victor helps free Riri from what's left of her Ironheart armor and lays her onto an exam table.
What's up, Doc? I'm Riri Williams.
Miss Williams, this will hurt a lot.
Victor prepares the area and removes the metal from Riri's side. She shrieks in pain. Exterior African jungle, 542, continuous. Riri can't be heard in the magically sealed, seemingly tiny prison cart as Winwu and Morgan exit. Everyone in this scene is speaking subtitled Mandarin. They follow sounds of a scuffle in the traveling war caravan.
Imposter.
Winwu and Morgan quickly move through the ranks lined up to join compatriots getting their asses kicked by Shang-Chi.
Bring me your leader. I want to speak with Su Wenwu.
Shang-Chi tosses another goon on the pile and spots Wenwu.
You found me, stranger, and you have met me at a disadvantage.
Shang-Chi catches Morgan preparing a spell with the Darkhold just before Wenwu takes deadly swipes with the ebony blade.
However, I have you at the greater disadvantage.
Shang-Chi reacts quickly, fluidly dodging his young father's strikes, familiar with his style. Before Morgan pops her spell, Shang-Chi uses his 10 rings to pull the Darkhold into the ebony blade's path, backfiring into a magical explosion. Wenwu and his surrounding soldiers are knocked down, with Morgan physically taking damage connected to the spellbook. Only Shang-Chi stands, protected by the power of the 10 rings. He offers Wenwu a hand.
I don't want to fight. I'm looking for a lost friend. Your way home.
Perhaps we can help each other.
Wenwu accepts the hand up, eyeing Shang-Chi's 10 rings. Exterior, Pacific Ocean, 1987 day. Quill soars over the water, shrunken hope on his shoulder.
Quill, please slow down. Pete, think about this.
Buzz off, Jimmy Cricket. Cancer kills my mom a year from now, and I'm going to see her today.
We need to get home and not risk any more changes to the timeline.
Your mom got saved today. Don't you get where I'm coming from, Hope?
Of course I do, but we don't know what effects the timeline changes could have. And we can't cure your mom.
The glowing power in Quill's hands fades as he slows.
Maybe not, but I can get another year with her at least.
How about your younger self? You got your time with your mom. Shouldn't he get his?
Exterior, Missouri Field, 87 day. Meredith Quill listens to music with young Quill, age 7. Exterior, Pacific Ocean. Quill slows to a stop over the water with Wasp reflecting.
I guess you're right. Thanks, Hope.
We need you, Star-Lord.
Carol slowly catches up with Scott, shrunken on her shoulder.
You good?
Good? I'm chill, but you're flying kind of slow there, Danvers.
Carol, maybe I should check your vitals. That nuke could have done.
I'll be fine. Congrats on the power, Star-Lord. Hopefully it gets us home faster.
Hey, Captain Marvel, you used to be in the Air Force, right? What do you call an unknown aircraft quickly approaching your position?
A bogey?
Bogey coming fast.
Pew pew pew! The four narrowly avoid laser blasts from Marvel's Creed fighter. Scott falls from Carol's shoulder. He grows larger than the plane, which pulls out of his way. Then he shrinks, but is too small for Quill to catch. Hope dives after him. The ship barrels and rolls after Captain Marvel and Star-Lord. She stops him from taking a shot.
Friend of yours?
She's my old commanding officer.
Wendy Lawson, aka the Kree Captain Marvel, pilots the alien jet in a dogfight with the two flyers. Carol lands on the cockpit canopy and pulls back her helmet.
Dr. Wendy Lawson, we're not your enemies. We're your friends.
Carol?
Carol smiles and nods before a shock removes her from the hull. Quill helps Carol recover. Lawson resumes her pursuit.
I saw Carol this morning, and the only flying she's done is from a cockpit. And I don't know what kind of scroll trick this is, but I order your immediate surrender in the name of the Kree Empire.
Oh, also, she's currently a spy for the planet Hala.
The mid-air chase halts as Lawson's jet takes unseen damage. Emerging from the console, Hope and Scott grow and fill the two seats behind Lawson. She puts her hands up in surrender.
Honored to meet you, Dr. Lawson.
She's a big fan of your work.
Interior, Strategic Scientific Reserve Base, 1944, night. This battle-damaged museum has been converted into an Allied fort. Sam Howlett, and the other Howling Commandos join a meeting in progress. Leading proceedings at the head of the table is SSR agent Peggy Carter, leading the room full of men. On her left sits Howard Stark, weapons genius, and across from him, Steve Rogers, Captain America, in his original uniform. Next to Bucky Barnes, not yet the murderous Winter Soldier.
All Hydra forces have retreated back to the Castle Scandia.
She pauses for the returning soldiers. Bucky greets the other Howling Commandos. Steve and Sam gawk at each other's similar uniforms and matching shields.
It's like we shop at the same store.
Not my
Howard.
work. This is the Cap you radioed about?
Yep. And where's my costume, Stark? Howlett lights a cigar in a corner before it's snuffed out by Eric Brooks, aka Blade, in a black tactical gear and shades. Howlett flashes claws, but Blade flashes fangs.
Welcome to the circus, pal. You fit right in. Call me Bucky.
Honored to meet y'all. I'm Sam.
Steve, brings you here, Sam.
I'm an ally. But please understand me and my mission need to stay classified. I'm way off course and looking for other lost members of my team.
I understand. Love if we can.
Maybe we can help each other. Can you offer any insight into our spy photos from the nearby Hydra base?
Sam examines a series of shots around Castle Scandia. One depicts the silhouette of a winged humanoid against the moon.
This could be Layla, the Scarlet Scarab. She's a rookie on my squad.
Sam snatches a picture of a prisoner brought into the castle.
Fury! He's like my commanding officer. Please, we have to save him.
We will.
We're preparing an assault on the castle now.
I'm in. With twice the Captain Americas, we should be done in half the time.
Won't be fighting your typical Hydra goons. They're following Ulysses Bloodstone.
Agent Brooks has encountered Bloodstone previously.
What do you know about this guy?
Before the war, my old mate chased Bloodstone out of London for his bloody experiments at the sex center.
Now Hydra is happy to sponsor him.
He's obsessed with obtaining power through the occult. Your people are some serious shit.
Exterior, Scandia Castle, 1944 night. A full moon lights the now scientifically enhanced seaside castle surrounded by Hydra soldiers and weapons. Interior, Scandia Castle, 1944 cell, night. Fury fights the restraints, keeping him in a chair. His patch is removed, exposing his glassy, scarred eye. Ulysses Bloodstone towers over, wearing his Hydra officer uniform and occult trinkets like the glowing red bloodstone.
How soon before the Howling Commanders arrive? Can we not learn to see eye to eye?
Ulysses waves the bloodstone in front of Fury's injured eye while muttering a spell, and magically it is fully restored.
Healthcare and bad puns. What kind of torture is this?
Torture? Never made you think I would torture you.
Well, if it talks like a Nazi and dresses like a Nazi.
Fury frees himself and socks Ulysses on the jaw. Ulysses wears the serpent crown on his head, which glows in defense. Just as quickly, a blur pummels Fury away from Ulysses. Namor silently hovers over Fury, controlled by Ulysses.
I tried the carrot. Give him the stick.
The serpent crown on Ulysses' head compels Namor to lift up Fury, who uselessly fights back. Down the stairway, Ulysses exits the cell and walks downstairs to the sounds of Namor torturing Fury. In the laboratory, continuous, Ulysses bursts into a laboratory where another Ravonna variant works as a lab assistant to a very old Kang variant, Victor Timely, slaving away over an automaton body.
Professor Timely, our time may soon be at hand. Have you been able to resurrect Phineas Horton's project?
It's coming along marvelously.
Excellent. Future may be here sooner than we expect. We will need this torch to light the path.
Timely clearly knows more about the future than Ulysses. Interior Pim Lab, 2027 night. Katie sees Bill shrinking from battle damage.
You betrayed me, Janet?
What are you talking about? Wasn't that a variant Kang?
I am all Kangs.
Hank takes the distraction to go for the orb. 616 lifts Hank and impales him on shrapnel, and he yells out,
Stop!
Janet, don't! You
You bastard!
Janet surrenders. 616 summons Katie telekinetically. He swipes her sling ring, and the two disappear in a portal.
you with me now. Monitor the prisoners.
Ravona is left with her TVA agents, Bill, Janet, and a bleeding out Hank.
Minutemen, form a perimeter.
As the men disperse, Janet shrinks and Ravona draws her weapon.
Please, I need to save my husband.
Ravona hesitates before waving Janet by. Janet blasts off shrapnel, then grows and lifts Hank and tends to his wounds. After her partner's cold exit, Ravona reflects on the warmth between Janet and Hank.
I'm here. Stay with me.
Exterior, New York City, 2027 Central Park, day. 616 shunts Katie through a portal, closes it, and guides her along the walking path.
We have to go back.
You and I have a very important appointment, Katie.
Your wires are definitely crossed, dude. I'm nobody important. I have some cool friends, but I'm just me.
Insignificant?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean,
Like these people?
He indicates the diverse people of New York enjoying a day at the park.
Are they also unimportant like you?
no, they're why the Avengers fight.
They're what I'm fighting for, Katie. This whole timeline and everyone in it.
What are you talking about? You disappeared the Avengers. You might have killed Hank.
I'm fighting a multiversal war, a secret war, so that all of you can live your unimportant lives
Against who?
against me.
They reach the exit of the park and approach the entrance to the Baxter building. 616 opens a portal inside.
It was your Avengers who came knocking on the door. I just needed them out of the way for today. Let me show you why.
Exterior, Kang Enterprises rooftop, 2099 night. New York has grown into a megalopolis in the next 70 years. The two Spider-Men, Peter and Miguel, from here swing past neon skyscrapers.
Spider-Man in position.
You think we'll find our way back?
Our friend seems to. We can follow her lead, maybe.
Courtyard continuous. Banner and Smart Hulk form smashes through public eye cops.
Dr. Banner, time to face your past.
Maestro leaps through his lair in the building, down to ground level with Banner.
It's Maestro now. Can you grapple with your future puny Banner?
The two Hulks destructively clash. Rooftop continuous. The Spider-Men hack and slice into a terminal. Public eye cops descend and Miguel breaks off to fight them.
Slice that terminal. We gotta get inside. I'll cover you.
Peter, how's it going?
A little more time, Doc.
Courtyard continuous. Maestro savagely beats the weaker Hulk.
You're the first challenge I've seen in decades. Don't make it too easy, Bruce.
You know, I hated Thanos and all the abominations, but I hate you the most.
Good. That's it. Get angry,
You're the worst of me. Everything I ever feared about myself.
and you'll never stop me.
Maestro knocks Hulk to his knees.
And since you can't change the future, now you're gonna die alone.
Old Man Logan flies in from above and sinks his adamantium claws into Maestro's thick green skin.
He's not alone, bub.
Smart Hulk and Old Man Logan fight back Maestro together. Exterior, Temple of Khonshu. 2500 BCE, night. The Domo crash lands in the dunes of ancient Egypt. She-Hulk, Val, Mark, and Wong all travel meters away from the ship, closer to the pristine temple lit up by the moon.
This is it. Temple of Khonshu, where I got my powers.
A vibranium spear stops their path. They look above and spot, standing on the temple roof, the ancient Avengers of 2500 BCE. Agamotto, the first sorcerer supreme, casting a spell. Bashinga, the first Black Panther. Moon Knight, the first one in her full armor and mask.
My spell will help you understand. Leave this temple in the name of the Sorcerer Supreme.
You aliens are not welcome in this sacred place.
Oh, that's not our UFO. We're just borrowing it.
Are you Agamotto?
I am.
Wong bows respectfully and presents the orb.
As your faithful disciple, now and always, I present your relic back to its rightful owner.
Agamotto produces his own identical orb.
You are not of this time. Look, we came here to restore my powers to aid our return home.
Who are you?
I am the Moon Knight, the Fist of Khonshu.
Moon Knight flies down and swoops up Mark in her cape. They quickly disappear into the temple and are sealed inside. Val and Jin run to smash their way after them, but Agamotto and Bashinga drop down and block their path. Interior Temple of Khonshu, 2500 BCE, night. Mark finds himself sitting across from the imposing Moon Knight. The moonlight shining from above illuminates a statue of Khonshu. Moon Knight extends a hand. Mark hesitates. Khonshu himself appears behind Moon Knight. Exterior continuous.
Step aside.
Stand down.
Peace.
Peace.
Jin drops her She-Hulk form.
Hey guys, we're all on the same side here. There's no rule that says superheroes have to fight when we first meet.
You are very wise for a half ogre.
Thanks. Agamotto, with these two relics, can you help us get back to our own time?
Perhaps one of you.
Interior, Mark and Moon Knight sit across from each other, holding hands. Khonshu stands behind her.
Mark Spector, do you swear to protect the travelers of the night and bring my vengeance to those who would do them harm?
Yes.
The bandaged armor unravels from to the other until Moon Knight is nothing but an ashy husk, and Mark is in full costume. The ash blows away like the blip.
Rise and live again as my fists of vengeance, as my Moon Knights.
Mark reaches out to hold on to her. The space ignites with the woman on fire. The Phoenix. She reforms into her true self. Ravonna, the original and first Moon Knight, who adorns herself with temple robes. Restored as Moon Knight, Mark never met this woman. Khonshu fades away behind him.
Hello, Mark. I'm Ravonna.
Same later. Wong and Agamotto finish preparing a spell over a sarcophagus. Bashinga, Ravonna, Jin, Val, and Mark all rest and observe.
This is where I leave you. If ever you seek the aid of Wakanda, simply invoke the name of Bashinga.
Bashinga bows and disappears.
So this will send one of us forward in time. What about the rest of us? I know a man with future knowledge, an oracle. He told me how to prevent the apocalypse. I'm sure he could aid your quest.
Then we will travel with you while Jin makes the journey forward.
Wait a minute. Why me?
Jin, you found the orb and brought it this far. I believe you can carry it the rest of the way and connect us all.
Bring us all home, love.
Godspeed, Jen.
Jin lays back in the sarcophagus, wrapped up in temporal energy from the two orbs. She holds one and Agamotto holds the other. Jin watches Ravonna, Wong, Val, and Mark wave and depart as Agamotto continues the spell before she fades out to Interior Temple of Bast, 542 day. Jin sleeps in a glass coffin like Snow White across from a statue of Bast, the Black Panther goddess. King Negus, descendant of Bashinga, argues with his daughter, Ravonna, Wakandan princess and current Black Panther.
Our enemy amasses at our gates, princess. This is not the time.
My king, this is precisely the time. Bashenga and his allies have prepared her for such a time.
Jin wakes up, reverts to She-Hulk, and smashes her way out.
Intruder, you stand on Wakandan soil, She-Ogre.
Apologies, Your Majesty. I was just sent by Bashenga from the past. Please, what year is it? It is the 35th year of King Negus's reign, my father.
Jin bows awkwardly.
What is that in AD?
542.
Damn. I might need to nap another 1,500 years or so. Please, I believe Bashenga and Bast have sent you here to help us. Invaders threaten Wakanda for the first time in centuries.
Exterior, Temple of Bast, 542 day. The temple of the Panther goddess sits on a cliffside, overlooking a ravine where Wenwu's forces make camp. Wenwu walks with Shang-Chi, steering him away from the prison cart. Morgan watches them both from a distance, suspicious. Interior prison cart, 542 day. Victor finishes sealing up Riri's wounds. You'll have a scar.
Can I ask how you got your scars?
Someone I believed was a friend. Patched up, Riri works with Victor to craft superior armor.
So how'd you end up in a witch's dungeon?
She caught me trying to steal her power for my own.
Hoping to be another conqueror?
No. I hoped to save someone very important to me. Someone that was taken when I was quite young.
Understand. When I was just 13, my best friend and stepdad were both gunned down in a drive-by.
Apologies, but I don't understand.
They were killed right in front of me. So I get it, because I'd do anything if I could save them.
I'm sorry for your loss.
I'm sorry for yours.
I do not require your pity. I refuse to lose. He hammers at the superior armor, nearly complete. Exterior, Scandia Castle, 1944, at night. The two Captain Americas, Sam and Steve, lead the Howling Commandos into battle. Close behind them are Bucky, Howlett, and the rest of the squad, kicking ass.
Let's go, Captains America.
The Hydra forces are no match for them. The corrupted field commander, Whitman, wields the ebony blade, but Blade himself steps up to him.
I'll show you ready for this, Herr Whitman.
With super reflexes, Blade unarms, then unheads the Nazi. Namor flies in to turn the tide. He nearly zooms right through Bucky, but Blade takes the brunt of the blow and the two fly off their feet. Howlett jumps in, claws out, growling.
Are you an animal?
You better believe it, bub.
Howlett gets a couple stabs in, which Namor shakes off before impaling him on a felled tree. Howlett cuts himself down and slowly starts to heal. With two vibranium shields, only Sam and Steve keep Namor from decimating their troops. Interior, Scandia Castle, continuous. Serpent crown on his head, Ulysses storms in where Timely works furiously on his android with his assistant.
Professor, it's time we pass the torch.
With the bloodstone, he imbues the husk with a spark of life. Its entire body ignites in flames.
It's alive.
Timely dons a headset, ahead of the times, and the torch's eyes light up with him. Exterior, Scandia Castle. The torch mindlessly flies out of the castle, burning the battleground. Sam and Steve stop him from melting their men with their shields. Howlett climbs the tower with his claws and launches at Namor, slicing at his wings. The torch turns from the crowd and burns Howlett. Is that all you got? Layla, the Scarlet Scarab, flies back around back of the battle into the castle, and Layla flies into where Fury is being held and quickly dispatches his two guards.
Fury, it's me, Layla. Hold still.
With her metal wings, Layla cuts Fury free.
Good work, Avenger. Let's move.
But Ulysses blocks the doorway. He swipes at Layla with his sword, which she blocks with her wings. Fury nabs the serpent crown and smashes it on the ground.
What have you done?
Exterior castle. Namor shakes free of his control and stops fighting Sam in the sky.
I am free.
I'm confused. Did Aladdin make his third wish?
Someone has broken the serpent crown. I must return to my people.
Wait, you might not have wanted to, but you caused plenty of damage here. Can you help my people?
What do I owe you?
Nothing, but I'll owe you. Call on Captain America anytime and I'll help you. Help your people.
Deal, Imperious Rex.
Namor zeroes in on the torch, engaging in a sky battle before forcing him into the sea. The deeper they go, the more the torch is snuffed out. Outside the battle, Peggy and Howard pull up in a vehicle to oversee what seems to be a sure victory. Interior, Marvel's ship, 1987 day. Lawson pilots with Carol and Quill in the two seats behind her. Shrunken down, Scott and Hope hold on to the console. The ship flies up to the outer atmosphere.
I'll take you to the Tesseract in my satellite lab, assuming you're really from the future. We need to get you all back before you do irreparable damage to the timeline.
I'm sorry, back to where?
Back to the future?
Sorry.
Scott.
Doc, this is heavy.
Dr. Lawson, maybe I shouldn't mention it, but your work on faster than light travel inspired my own exploration in quantum travel. So it's my fault you were here? Directly?
And why are you here on Earth, Lawson? Or should we call you by your Cree name, Marvel?
How much do you know, Carol?
The Carol you know doesn't know a thing. She admires you. When I found out who you really were, you'd already turned on the Cree.
Impossible.
Security alarms jolt everyone to alert.
What's that?
Ship approaching, fast.
Aw, hell.
Quill recognizes the bigger Ravager ship and its pilot, Yondu, flanked by a number of high-ranking Kree soldiers, Ronan, Dar-Ben, Yonra, Korath, and Minerva.
We've got Cree. Lawson betrayed us.
That's me. Captain Marvel, I picked up these fine folks in between. Let me try that again. Captain Marvel, I picked up these fine folks in between jobs. Then Ronan says,
Yeah.
we're eager to learn your progress.
Brawlhalla.
For the Kree.
I have these 4 prisoners who threatened to reveal my cover.
Weird. My scans only show 3 life forms, including you.
Where's Open Spot?
Will smirks and nods to the exhaust port. Exterior, upper atmosphere, 87 day. Tiny, Hope flies Scott in their helmeted suits from Marvel's jet to Yondu's ship, hovering opposite.
I don't like it. They could be scrolls in disguise.
Safest to dispose of the lot. You got it. Yondu charges up cannons that look like they could blow away the smaller vessel.
Wait, can squirrels do this?
Carol pops open the canopy and flies out between the 2 ships, 2 glowing hands spread out. Quill quickly follows before the panicked Lawson seals it shut.
And what's in a Ravager like Yondu Yondu Uda doing Holland Lowe's Who's Who of Hala.
You know me, boy?
He's the alien who kind of abducted and then raised me.
Oh shit.
Only by your fearsome reputation.
Then you know I'll haul anyone, anything if the pay is right. Interior Yondu's ship continuous. Scott and Hope explore the ship and find a play area for alien children.
Is there a Chuck E. Cheese in here?
Gaia, a Skrull child, falls down the slide, then scrambles back up frightened. Hope shrinks and follows, finding more Skrull kids hiding inside.
Hey, it's okay, kids. It's okay.
Exterior upper atmosphere. Quill and Carol attempt to keep the peace.
Yondu, I'm surprised you'd sully your ship with the Kree who enslaved you.
Hope and Scott burst in with a couple of blasts, scare the Kree into their true Skrull forms: Soren, Vera, Rava, Kriega, and a young Gravik. You're right. I hate the Kree.
Imposters, the Empire will they'll hunt you down for this, not help.
We must annihilate them all while we can.
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Yeah. I can actually sing it this time. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we? Well, why can't we be friends? There we go.
It's okay, we can't clear it anyway.
You don't have to be enemies. Marvel, you're a scientist. I know in your heart you're a woman of peace.
Kree will not know peace until the Skrulls are eliminated.
Who's threatening your peace? These families? Those children?
Curious, Gaia joins her mother Soren, and other children surround her and Gravik. Lawson sees they're just refugees.
You just need a place to go.
I'll give you a place. My satellite lab has plenty of space for your group, at least until you find someplace better.
The Skrulls convene and agree.
We're grateful, but won't this put you in danger with your empire?
The Kree will never find you. I promise you'll be safe.
We can go to your lab, grab the Tesseract, and be on our way before we do any more timeline damage.
I'm not convinced your presence is a bad thing, but I have to be honest. I don't have the Tesseract.
What? Who has it?
I've tried obtaining it from my research, but Howard Stark's kept a tight grip on that cube since 1945.
Interior Yondu's ship, continuous. Scott and Hope have snuck away in the chaos and used the ship's computer to track the Tesseract.
I've got a lock on the possible gamma signature near Montreal.
Scott preps an escape pod as Yondu runs in after them. You two pests, get off my ship!
You got it. By the way, we're borrowing this?
Wait, no! Hope flies Scott into the pod and they launch. Exterior, upper atmosphere, continuous. Hope and Scott's escape pod flies right past Carol and Quill towards Earth.
Last one of the Tesseract's a rotten egg.
Carol and Quill blasts off after them, leaving Lawson to face and deal with the Skrulls. Exterior, Kang Enterprises Courtyard, 1987, day. The Tesseract is observed, then closed in a special case by Howard Stark, 40 years older, approaching a familiar corporate office with his 17-year-old genius son, Tony Stark, reluctantly following behind. Interior, Baxter Building, 2027, day. 616 shoves Katie through a portal into the home of the Fantastic Four. Surprisingly quiet, he shushes Katie.
Today is important. Reed and Sue called away. Both Johnny and Ben unavailable. So a special young man has a new, very scary babysitter. That, Katie, is why you're here.
Huh?
He guides her ahead into the nursery. Katie falls inside right into the trap of a nasty witch. Agatha Harkness, siphoning power from the baby, Franklin Richards in the crib. Agatha's beam quickly moves to Katie and latches onto her mystical artifacts.
Who the hell are you people?
616 appears next to the crib and picks up the crying baby Franklin.
I'm his descendant. Don't you see the resemblance?
Exterior, Kang Enterprises, rooftop, 2099, night. Kang the conglomerator emerges and short circuits Peter with electric blast. The blue Ravona variant, Voyager, teleports around and subdues Miguel through acrobatics. She seems absent of the personality found in all her other variants, more robotic. At the courtyard, Maestro tosses Logan away and beats the green out of Banner.
Why? Why did you give up?
Give up. Bruce, we survived. Tony, Cap, even Thor, all gone. But we're still here. Us and him.
The Spider-Men hard drop from the rooftop. Kang flies down with Logan in an energy trap that he extends around Banner and the Spider-Men.
Kang won.
Interior Baxter Building, Nursery, 2027, day. 616 holds baby Franklin, his ancestor. Agatha and Katie remain frozen in time.
Franklin is a very special mutant, the son of Reed and Sue Richards of the Fantastic Four. He's going to give me my inheritance early.
616 absorbs the reality warping abilities of Franklin Richards and ascends to his final form, Immortus. Agatha breaks free and tries to attack, but he blasts her with temporal energy. She falls back into a chair, now just a frail old woman. Immortus teleports away, and Katie sees to the crying baby Franklin. Interior, Kang Enterprises, 1987, day. Howard and Tony Stark meet with the man behind the company, Kang Griffin, a tech mogul Kang variant, and his assistant, Ravona, of course, here seemingly a secretary.
Mr. Stark, I didn't realize it was bringing your son to work day.
It's time Tony starts learning the business, if that's all right with you, Mr. Griffin.
Please, Mr. Stark, call me Kang. I'm sure my assistant can occupy young Tony while we walk.
I'm sure she can too. How you doing?
Above in the vents, Shrunken Scott and Hope observe everyone.
It's him, Kang.
Interior, Scandia Castle, 1944 lab, night. Ulysses Bloodstone storms in on Victor Timely and his lab assistant, Ravona.
You fool. The enemy is at our gates. You have failed.
Timely yanks the Bloodstone from Ulysses' neck and jams it into a strange device. In the stairway, Sam and Steve lead the Howling Commandos with Bucky, Howlett, and Blade. Peggy, Howard, Fury, and Layla follow close.
Great work, Layla. Fury, how are you looking better than I last saw you?
This Hydra clown is into some freaky deaky shit. So am I.
In the laboratory, Sam and Steve lead the group into the lab where the 3 scientists and only a few soldiers remain.
Everyone, weapons down now.
You brought the weapons.
Howlett and Blade glance toward each other. Timely twists the Bloodstone in his device and mutters an incantation. A dark power radiates out and transforms most into monsters. The Howling Commandos, except for Howard, Bucky, and Blade, change into monsters from Marvel Comics history. Howlett reverts into a feral Wolverine. Peggy watches in horror as Steve transforms into a werewolf. Not even Ravona is spared as she melts into a swarm of bees. Ulysses runs for his life. Exterior, Wakandan battlefield, 542, day. Wenwu's forces clash with Wakandan warriors. Shang-Chi pleads with his father from the past.
Wenwu, you have the power to stop this. Call off your troops.
In our hour of triumph, these people hoard a power that could change the world.
Interior Temple of Bast. The Wakandan King Negus and Princess Ravona discuss Jin.
She is an outsider like these invaders, and I do not trust her. Nor should you, my king.
The Scarlet Centurion emerges from the shadows, a Wakandan Kang variant and vizier to the king.
This troll will surely lead to Wakanda's destruction.
Jin fully hulks out, seeing this Kang variant.
Your Majesty, you can't listen to this guy.
She tries to attack him, but Ravona, the Black Panther, surprises her with this counter. Exterior Sphinx, 2500 BCE night. Moon Knight Ravona leads Wong, Mark, and Val into the at this time pristine and clearly alien vessel.
This way, my partner's inside.
Interior Palace of Rama Tut, 2500 BCE night. The three follow her into an opulently adorned throne room. Pharaoh Rama Tut sits upon the throne, another Kang variant. Exterior Kang Enterprises Courtyard, 2099 night. Banner, Peter, Logan, and Miguel in their laser cell listen to Maestro as he bends the knee to Kang.
Kang, Immortus, he's one. For all time. Always. Why fight that?
Interior Palace of Rama Tut, 2500. Wong, Mark, and Val jump into battle with the prepared Rama Tut, much to his Ravona shock. Interior Temple of Bast. While Black Panther Ravona distracts her, the Centurion uses his staff to blast She-Hulk out to the battlefield.
You did the right thing, princess.
She doesn't seem so sure. On the battlefield, Morgan Le Fay and Shang-Chi are the devil and angel on Wenwu's shoulders.
With the power in Wakanda, your empire can expand through the entire world.
But should it? When's it going to be enough?
I would bring peace and order to the world.
How much death will you deal out first?
Wenwu spots his forces across the battle being wiped out, and at the center is the terrifying Black Panther, Ravona.
And hopefully not much more. I require my armor.
Wait!
Wenwu departs. Shang-Chi grabs at him, but Morgan catches him off guard with a spell and sends him flying into the fray.
You're done here.
Shang-Chi recovers and fights off a couple of soldiers who attack him. He rounds on She-Hulk, doing the same. She reverts back to Jin.
Jen, you're here.
Shang-Chi, you're okay.
They hug, then quickly break apart, swept up in the moment.
Is anyone else with you?
Just me this time. How about you?
I think Riri's around here somewhere.
We've got to find her and get out of here.
How?
Jin reveals the orb of Agamotto from her satchel.
With this.
Interior Palace of Rama Tut, 2500 BCE. While Rama Tut fights off Wong and Val, Ravona stops her fellow Moon Knight, Mark.
Wait, why are you doing this?
He's the bad guy. He's the one responsible for all this.
You're mistaken. He's my friend.
Ravona, these villains have tricked you. Help me dispatch them.
The nose of the Sphinx is
There.
the nose of the Sphinx is blown off, and through the entrance crashes Icarus, Kingo, and Makari of the Eternals.
Where's our starship?
A chaotic three-faction fight breaks out between Rama Tut and Ravona, Wong, Mark and Val, and Icarus, Kingo, and Makari. Exterior battlefield, 542. Jin and Shang-Chi work together to solve the orb's puzzle.
So this thing pulled you from the future to the past and back again?
Basically.
His rings light up along with the orb and allow him to manipulate it in new ways.
What if it could bring someone in to help us? A real Avenger?
Like who?
Well, I met my dad here, and it got me thinking about who else would be alive now.
I always wanted to meet Thor.
Interior, Scandia Castle Laboratory. 1944. Sam, Peggy, and Bucky battle Werewolf Steve, barely keeping him at bay. Blade and Fury keep back Wolverine Howlet. Layla and what's left of the Howling Commandos fight back the other monsters.
Steve, please come back to us.
Howard wrestles away the device from Timely, who's fascinated by the chaos, especially Howlet. He watches Wolverine drive his claws into Fury's eye. Easy come, easy go. Interior, Kang Enterprise, 1987. Shrunken, Scott, and Hope move in towards Howard's case.
Closing in on the Tesseract.
Exterior, King Enterprises rooftop, 1987. Continuous, Carol and Quill touch down, and he sprints for the door.
Not if I get there first.
Quill, wait!
He swings open the door inside and sets off the alarm. Interior, Kang Enterprises, continuous. Across from Howard, Kang can see the intruders on the roof, the Tesseract in Howard's case, and even tiny Scott and Hope. He flicks a switch. The elevator, continuous. Rising up is Kang's secret weapon, Howlet, enhanced with an adamantium skeleton, claws, and control helmet, also known as Weapon X. Interior, prison cart 542, day. Wenwu steps inside, hastily leaving the portal open.
I have come for my armor.
Riri is wearing the superior armor.
Come and get it.
Exterior, Wakanda battlefield, continuous. Riri flies Wenwu out the portal and Victor follows behind. While Ironheart fights the Mandarin, Morgan tries to subdue her, but Victor interferes with his own magic. Morgan flips through the Darkhold for the right spell. Victor pulls a parchment from his cloak. My favorite passage from the Darkholds. I thought I'd save it for this very day. He reads the incantation and tears the parchment. The Darkhold absorbs Morgan within its pages. Riri quickly flies around Wenwu, but he's still impatient, able to block and swipe with the ebony blade as she zips by. Without the 10 rings, he's still a formidable opponent. Victor creates a magical shield around Riri that allows her to take a hit from the ebony blade, then knock down Wenwu with an iron punch. While Riri incapacitates Wenwu, Victor quickly recovers the ebony blade. Drawn to the fight, Jin and Shang-Chi approach.
Riri, look who we found.
Thor, in his 20s, before earning Mjolnir, jumps ahead.
Well met, Ironheart.
Thor lifts the already beaten Wenwu.
You call off your army and retreat from this place now.
Riri lets out a scream. From behind, Victor has stabbed her in the back with the ebony blade.
Victor, why?
Apologies, Miss Williams, but this was always the plan. Victor strategically cuts her right out of the superior armor and readily steps into it himself.
Oh, traitorous villain.
All will fall to the might of Victor Von Doom.
Victor kicks Thor's ass with the superior armor, ebony blade, and Darkhold, all in his possession. Victor rises up, siphoning power from the dying Thor. Jin hulks out to reach him.
Stop! Let him go!
With the orb in one hand, when Jin reaches Victor, she glitches forward in time to Scandia Castle, 1944. She-Hulk jumps from one wielder of the ebony blade to another when she finds herself next to a desperate Blade, driving his sword into Capwolf. Peggy weeps as he reverts back to Steve. Wolverine leaps towards Jen, but she's pulled forward again to Kang Enterprises, 1987. She-Hulk pops in next to Weapon X, causing chaos in Kang's office. Scott and Hope fight him off from reaching Howard in his case. Young Tony tries to help and gets a claw through the gut. Howard cries out, devastated. Jen reverts back from grief. As Quill and Carol run in to see what's happened, Jen's pulled forward again to Kang Enterprises 2099, pulled forward one more time next to Old Man Logan, in the same cell with Banner, Peter, and Miguel.
Jen, where'd you go? How'd you get back? Why?
Distraught, Jin weeps from all the death, inconsolable. Voyager Ravona summons a transport for Kang.
Dispose of them.
Why fight what we've already lost?
Because it's your responsibility, because you have the power.
Interior, PemLab, 2027, night. Ravona watches Janet patching up Hank, unsure of herself.
Why have you done this to us?
He told us he'd save our timeline.
You're the ones everyone needs saving from.
I've been fighting for the TVA for so long, I don't remember the last time I questioned our mission.
Exterior, King Enterprises Courtyard, 2099, night. Peter stands up to the maestro.
Foolish, puny spider.
Logan stands with them, followed by Miguel.
Who are you calling puny, bub?
Miguel drives his talons and Logan his claws into the laser cell to pry their way out. And one by one, Maestro knocks down Peter, Miguel, and Logan, but they just stand right back up.
Peter's right. And you used to know that, Bruce. But you're not Bruce Banner anymore. You're Brian Banner. You became your father, the abusive bastard who raised the angriest man alive.
Maestro pushes through the others, raging face to face with the human Banner.
And now no one can hurt us, even all alone. Hulk, strongest there is.
Maybe our friends are gone, but the fight for what's right didn't die with them. Look around. Jen, Peter, they're the future. Miguel, Logan, they're really the future. There's always someone choosing the right side that could use your help.
Maestro looks over the determined faces of Logan and Miguel and the sad faces of Peter and Jen.
You're right. Cruelty hasn't made me the strongest. It made me weak.
Maestro reverts back to a very old Bruce, then to nothing but dust. Kang is shocked, but before he reacts, Logan stabs 6 claws into his chest. Ravona seems to regain her mind.
End of the line.
Interior, Kang Enterprises, 1987, day. Shrunken, Hope, and Scott mess with Weapon X's helmet wiring. He turns towards his master in a rage. 6 claws into his chest proceed to crash through glass as Weapon X dives through the 40-story window with Kang. Interior, Scandia Castle, 1944, laboratory, night. Layla finds the Darkhold. With it in the Bloodstone, she reverses the curse and changes back the Howling Commandos. Howlett drives 6 claws into the amused Timely. Exterior, Wakandan Battlefield, 542, day. Riri and Shang-Chi watch as Jen glitches forward in time. Victor overflows with temporal energy. Victor drops the dying Thor to the ground, but before he reaches it, Thor is caught by a rainbow bridge. Wenwu reaches Victor with a surprise attack, causing him to drop the ebony blade and Darkhold. Victor responds with a temporal blast that sends Wenwu into a cart. Flying through the air to meet Victor, the Scarlet Centurion clashes with him.
You're not supposed to be here.
Neither are you.
The temporal energy absorbs them both, blasting both out of time. Victor drops the ebony blade and Darkhold behind. Shang-Chi runs to the side of his deathly injured father.
Dad, listen to me. You're going to be okay.
Dad,
Please, can you help him?
I'm sorry. I fix machines, not people. I wouldn't know where to start.
Flashback. An older Wenwu sacrifices himself and gives Shang-Chi the 10 rings. Shang-Chi thinks it over.
You and your army are going back to China, right? Hey, if I can help you, you'll leave Wakanda right away?
I swear on the life of my future son, you have my word.
Shang-Chi takes his father's hands and the 10 rings slide between them. Instantly, their healing magic begins to restore Wenwu. Later, Shang-Chi and Riri watches Winwu marches his army away. In the mess, they find the Darkhold with Morgan still inside.
What do we do with this?
I'd be glad to take it off your hands.
Agamotto, much older, steps through a sling ring portal.
Who the hell are you?
Agamotto, the Sorcerer Supreme at your service. Very sorry I'm so late. You will let poor Jennifer Walters know my sympathies.
You know Jen?
Yes, I helped her get here. I've learned a lot since then.
He takes the Darkhold and closes the book on Morgan.
Hopefully I can help this poor corrupted soul. But first, let's get you kids home.
He reveals the original Orb of Agamotto. Interior, PimLab, 2027, night. Janet has Hank and Bill stable but unconscious. Immortus returns via teleport.
Ravonna, I've done it.
Show me.
In time.
No, my life. I'm starting to forget again. I need you to show me the timeline we're fighting to save. My timeline.
Shrunken Janet goes for the Orb of Agamotto on Immortus's belt, but he swats her away.
Don't
He's surprised.
leave her. Leave her. Show me what I'm fighting to get back. I want to see my life.
With his enhanced abilities, Immortus shows a projection of the sacred timeline and more to show her the truth.
Which one?
Several spots light up on the sacred timeline. In a montage, Immortus flashes Ravonna through her multiple lives. In 2099, Voyager Ravonna, sidekick to Kang the Conglomerator. 1987, Business Ravonna, secretary to Kang Griffin. 1944, Science then Swarm Ravonna, assistant to Victor Timely. 542, Black Panther Ravonna, silenced by Scarlet Centurion. And 2500 BCE, Moon Knight Ravonna marrying Pharaoh Rama Tut. And this one here, the TVA general.
What have you done?
I gave us a chance. I gave us every chance. Instead of pruning or recruiting our variants, I placed them all throughout the sacred timeline. I will rule for all time, always, with my queen at my side. This is the Kang Dynasty.
Who am I?
Whoever you need to be.
Whoever you need? You mean?
Ravonna, don't do this. We're so close to our dream.
Your dream.
Ravonna takes the Orb of Agamotto from Immortus and throws it to Janet. She knows his tech and turns the orb, and from it summons She-Hulk.
What good is a legacy of death destroying others just to ensure our own survival? Who are we to decide which lives matter?
Ravonna, I did it all for you.
I never wanted any of this.
Immortus goes for the orb. She-Hulk struggles to wrestle it from his grasp.
You travel so far. You've seen it. My dynasty. How is it?
Spoiler alert, you lose.
Jin tackles Immortus through a temporal rift. Exterior Sphinx, 2505 BCE day. The Sphinx arrives through a temporal rift and destroys the pyramid of In Sabanur, landing in its place. Same later, Moon Knight Ravonna arrives on the scene of destruction. Interior Palace of In Sabanur, continuous. Ravonna investigates and finds Rama Tut in a fierce battle. In Sabanur, better known as the First Mutant Apocalypse, fights the invader.
Moon Knight, warrior of my kingdom, stand with your god king now.
Ignore this false god. I have come to free your people from his rule.
Ravonna considers the two and strikes in Sabanur. Ramatut takes advantage of his distraction and uses his magic to seal away in Sabanur, buried within the Sphinx. Ravonna looks unsure of her choice as Ramatut offers her his hand. Interior Palace of Ramatut, 2500 BCE night. Pharaoh Ramatat offers his hand to Ravonna. Around them, the Eternals, Icarus, Makari, and Kingo fight the Avengers, Moon Knight, Valkyrie, and Wong.
Come with me.
A temporal rift opens. Jin crashes through within Mortis. Feeling clarity, Ravonna recognizes him for what he is.
No.
Then die with the rest.
Ramatat sits on his throne, which converts into future tech and rises up. Ravonna eyes a spot on the floor beneath it.
Mark, here.
Mark, in full Moon Knight gear, can just barely survive a beating from Icarus, but Mark quickly dodges as the Eternal flies in to crush him. Icarus smashes the stone floor instead. She-Hulk finishes the opening with a foot stomp. The hand of In Sabanur raises out of the crack, which quickly expands into a massive fissure to fit the massive figure as a 20-foot and growing Apocalypse rises. Apocalypse grabs the fleeing Ramatat and crushes him in his massive fist as the mutant continues to outgrow the Sphinx.
No, this is not the end.
Using the Orb of Agamotto, Immortus reverses, then speeds up time. Only he and She-Hulk remain in a temporal bubble. At exterior Citadel at the end of time, night. Immortus and She-Hulk are reversed forward back to the moment he blasted the Avengers through time.
Avengers, when will you accept that I win for all time? Always. I am forever. I am Immortus.
And we're the Avengers. We stop fighting. We never stop fighting for what's right.
She-Hulk flies in from the temporal bubble and Hulk smashes both orbs of Agamotto, hers and Immortus's. The temporal energy rocks Immortus. The Citadel and destabilizes the sacred timeline all around the Avengers. Exterior, Chronopolis, day. A new battle world's created from pieces of the Citadel, ancient Egypt, medieval Wakanda, World War II Europe, Cold War Russia, modern Kathmandu and Chicago, future Nueva York, and more. Out of the chaos rises a massive Immortus trying to seal away an equally huge apocalypse. TVA Ravonna steps up to these towering figures.
Stop. You will. What will you rule over now?
Whatever's left.
We're what's left.
From the wreckage emerges She-Hulk, followed by Hulk, Spider-Man, Captain America, Ant-Man, Wasp, Captain Marvel, Star-Lord, Valkyrie, Ironheart, Shang-Chi, Moon Knight, Scarlet Scarab, Wong, Fury, Janet, Bill, Hank, and Katie. Avengers Assemble.
Avengers assemble.
Rushing out to meet them are an army of variants of Kang, Ramatat, Scarlet Centurion, Victor Timely, Kang Griffin, and Chronometer 616, and more Anachronauts. More Avengers throughout time join the fight to turn the tide. Agamotto, young and old, Bashinga the Black Panther, Namor, Blade, Bucky, Peggy, Ant-Man, Wasp, Goliath, Young Fury, Lawson, Yondu, Miguel, along with Howlett, Weapon X, and Old Man Logan. In the montage, the Avengers fight the Kings. There'd be a lot more to this in a full script, but for the sake of brevity, Jen, Banner, Miguel, Peter, and the three Wolverines, Howlett, Weapon X, and Old Man Logan fight off waves of chronometer variants.
What's the play here?
I think we've got to bring on the apocalypse.
That doesn't sound anonymous.
Mortis wants to stop it, and let's make it happen.
Katie teams with Val, Wong, the two Agamottos to magically battle the Centurion.
And Sabanur is the first mutant. By sealing him away, Immortus prevents his kind from expanding. Or will prevent.
Sam, Bucky, Peggy, and Fury, young and old, box Kangs.
Your time's up.
Moon Knight, Scarlet Scarab, Namor, Blade, and Bashinga fight to dethrone Rama's Hut.
We don't need a demagogue.
Ironheart and Shang-Chi, Captain Marvel and Star-Lord, Lawson and Yondu take on a steampunk armored Timely and his summoned army of monsters.
We don't need to be afraid.
We're not alone. Scott, Hope, Hank, Janet, Bill team up with the younger versions of the latter three to rematch future Kang.
But you were all alone.
You waged war on everything and everyone.
But we're always going to win.
Jen, Peter, Sam, and Valor all illuminated by temporal outlines of Hulk, Tony, Steve, and Thor, carrying their torch into a smackdown for Immortus.
Because hope beats fear.
Selflessness beats selfish.
Love beats hate. And Avengers beat Kang.
In the montage, the Kangs keep coming and they don't stop coming. TVA Ravonna fights her way into the time door and finds exterior the Kang Coliseum night, outside time. An army of Kang variants rush through temporal portals to join the fight in Chronopolis. Ravonna watches as from above, riding the matter-eating smoke monster, Eliath, is the ultimate variant of herself, Renslayer, from the end of Loki Season 2. Renslayer guides the beast to devour the Colosseum of Kangs and scoops up TVA Ravonna on her way out. Exterior Chronopolis. An army of Ravonna variants storms through the temporal portals, giving the Avengers the numbers they need, including variants of TVA Ravonna, Renslayer, Voyager, Black Panther, Moon Knight, Swarm, Princess, Terminatrix, and more. The Valkyrie finally heed Val's call, led by another Ravonna. With the other kings defeated, Immortus weakens. Apocalypse rises to his greatest height. Eliath swallows everything that doesn't belong in ancient Egypt. The Avengers stand together as everything is consumed. In exterior Sphinx, 2500 BCE day, Apocalypse lords over the land. The rest of the Eternals arrive on the Domo, Circe, Sprite, Phastos, Druig, Ajax, Gilgamesh, and Thena, to join Icarus, Kingo, and Makari, who jump into battle with Bashinga and Agamotto against the massive Apocalypse. The Phoenix Force joins to keep Apocalypse in check. Interior Wakandan Palace, 542 day. King Nagus observes the old Agamotto release Morgan Le Fay into a magical cell. Exterior African jungle, 542 day. Winwu marches his forces home, imbued with the power of the Ten Rings. A rainbow bridge cuts him off, and the wounded Thor stands against the Mandarin. Interior SSR base, 1944 day. As morning breaks, Blade, Howlett, Bucky, Howard, and the Howling Commandos mill their way in, ready for rest. Peggy hangs back with Steve. Interior Marvel Lab, 1987 night. Lawson uses a Tesseract-powered device to heal the young and unconscious Tony Stark. A grateful Howard hands over the Tesseract to Lawson. Exterior, Upper Atmosphere 87. The Skrulls move from Yondu's docked ship into the space lab, and Yondu's instruments get a blip over Missouri. Interior, Baxter Building Nursery, 2027 day. Susan and Reed return, panicked, then relieved to see baby Franklin watched over by the kindly, elderly Agatha. Interior, PemLab, day, 2027. Just before the Avengers set off their time trap, all of the Avengers are assembled, plus one more, Wolverine, or James Logan Howlett, who's been here the whole time as far as everyone knows. Fire it up, Doc Green. Banner turns on the time trap, and Chronomonitor 616 is successfully captured.
This isn't how things were supposed to happen.
Turns out we can change the future, and you're going away for all time. Always.
The title changes. Avengers Forever. Fade to black, roll credits. Let's do some post-credit scenes. Interior, Franklin D. Roosevelt High School, 2027 day. Nathaniel Richards, only 17, another King variant, sits across from the principal, Rebecca Termine, the true Ravona, giving a detention slip to the King variant.
Always in trouble, Mr. Richards. What kind of future are you heading towards?
I can't wait to find out.
Cut to black. Roll credits. Exterior, World Tree, night. Victor drops the lifeless body of the Scarlet Centurion at the feet of the god of stories, Loki, struggling to hold together and fix the strands of time broken by the Avengers' adventure. Victor Von Doom approaches in his superior armor.
You should not be here, mortal.
Doom has come to relieve you of your burdens as guardian. There is a new god in charge.
Cut to black and the end. Yay, thanks everybody.
Fun.
Thanks for
Loved
doing
it.
this.